It's Beers and Balls, and we're back. My name's Ellis. This is Beardless Will.
Hi everyone.
A very, very special episode. This one, we've got Brendan. He is a U13 goalkeeper, and we found it really useful to talk to him about his experiences as a young
Hello.
player.
Hello everybody.
Now, Brendan is a U13's goalkeeper, and we thought it would be, a good opportunity to get the opinions of a young footballer, a young person that's trying to aspire to be, a goalkeeper in the Premier League.
It doesn't matter what age you are.
No.
You've always got opinions and you've always got experiences.
100%. So, Brendan, tell us a little bit about your journey as a player so far. What age did you start playing? Where did you go?
What teams did you play for?
I played for Whitley Juniors FC.
How old?
It was 8 to 11 or 12.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to Christ the King under 13s playing a year above,
Yeah.
What league was that in?
B League. And then left halfway through the season, joined Cardiff United a year above again. And then I joined Poppies this year.
Okay, did you play just Sunday?
That's just Sunday football.
And then I play for Coventry Development Centre on Saturday.
Saturday, okay.
And also, what position did you play?
Goalkeeper.
You're a goalkeeper. So I've got the first question for you, Brendan. I'm probably going to be one of the people that challenge you on questions. Why did you leave the club that you were playing up? You were playing up a year up,
Christ
right?
King.
You were playing in goal a year up, and you decided to leave to go elsewhere halfway through a season. Why?
So halfway through the season, I played a bit at the start, like 50-50, and then throughout the season, my playtime got lower and lower and lower, and last game that I played, I got around 15 minutes.
Okay.
I don't mean to... But when were you playing 50-50? Because you started off, you were the only goalkeeper.
Oh. I don't remember. Okay.
You cannot remember when he plays for the team, but he was there.
He was the only goalkeeper, but then
Okay.
they brought in another goalkeeper, and then it's
Well, to be fair, you've played for that many teams, you probably forgot which one's which, right? But so, in short, and as I said, I'm going to challenge you. In short, you left because your game time reduced.
Yeah.
Why didn't you fight for it? Be honest.
Because the goalkeeper that replaced me was an outfielder. Right?
Okay.
And I don't know really.
Did you think you were better than him? So why didn't you stay and fight for it? Were you forced out? Did the coaches not make you feel a part of it?
I just didn't want to be there and only getting 15 minutes while I'm still doing really well in training and that.
Okay.
I'll be honest, I'm stepping on his dad.
Obviously, yeah. Can you
Yeah,
see
and
that?
then, it was half to do with me that he left. I wasn't happy with him only getting 15 minutes.
So was it just the one game you got 15 minutes and then it was a decision to pull him out?
It reduced every game.
Yeah, it seemed to get reduced.
What did the
every
coach say? Did you talk to the coach?
No.
I spoke to the coach, and the coach basically said he's still a year younger, so he's still learning.
Yeah.
So it'll all be okay.
Okay.
The main reason why we went there was so that he could develop for the Saturday.
Right, okay.
So he could play a year up in a bigger goal when
Yeah.
he shouldn't have been playing in the bigger goal.
Yeah.
So already that was a massive challenge for you, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then hopefully it would have dripped into Saturday and he would have improved on the Saturday. The only way, if he was getting 15 minutes, for me as a parent,
Yeah.
I seen it was going to hinder him. And
Long term. Okay.
Yeah. He's still trying to develop. If he's not getting the minutes, then what's the point?
Okay, yeah. That's what you're saying. So, obviously, you've moved on and you've gone on to bigger and better things.
Yeah.
Won the League with Poppies. Congratulations on that. I have another question. What do you prefer, Saturday football or Sunday League?
So at the minute, in Sunday League, we just won the league, and it wasn't the only game that was very competitive was the last game of the season against second place. So I'm enjoying it more on a Saturday because I'm getting more shots on me.
Right, okay. So you like the challenge?
Yeah.
You like the challenge. Would you choose to play, if you could only choose one, irrespective of what league they're in, what team you're playing in, what level they are,
Yeah.
you can only play one day, would it be Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday.
Why?
Even though the majority of your friends play
Yeah.
on a Sunday.
I think I have a better connection with the people that have more
Okay.
others.
What do you make of the level differences? Do you think the level's similar? Do you think it's better on a
Who
Saturday?
do you think is the better team? Your Saturday side or your Sunday side? That's really putting you on the spot.
I don't know really. They're like, I'd say, I think Cov would beat them, but not by a lot.
Right, okay. So you think your Saturday side would beat your current Sunday team, but not by, so it'd be a close game?
Yeah.
Okay. So you enjoy both?
Yeah.
What are your ambitions, Ben? What do you want to do? Where do you want to go?
I want to make it professional.
Pretend you're older. I'm not sure whether we've
Yeah.
got any of his.
You want to make it pro?
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you think, as a young player or young goalkeeper trying to do that, what do you think you're going to need to do in order to achieve that?
Practice every day.
Practice every day, is that it?
A lot of effort all the time.
Yeah, a lot of effort, a lot of determination. But sometimes you got to be in the right place at the right time. And that's just...
If you face fits,
yeah,
a lot of it.
that's football. And I'm sure a lot of you guys can agree, if your face fits the picture, you're probably going to get an opportunity.
I think
or if you know someone who knows someone.
It's probably even harder with the goalkeepers in that respect, that your face fits.
It's one position.
Yeah.
And we've spoke before, you know, making mistakes as a goalkeeper. You tell us from your mind, the ball's just rolled back to you, you've had a pass back played by your defender, you went to control it, it's gone under your foot and in the back of the net. Talk us through that feeling.
How you feel,
And
yeah.
be loud so everyone we can get this bit.
So this happened on a Saturday, not that long ago actually.
Okay.
And it just feels horrible because you let your team down. If an outfield player does that, it doesn't cost the team. But if the goalkeeper does it, it's just on a different level.
And what was the final score in that game?
Can't remember.
Did you win or lose?
Don't know.
No, I have no idea.
How
But
do you get over it though? That's what I want to ask.
Just quickly before you go on that, but that for me is probably why you don't know, because your mistake clouded everything else. You probably don't know who you played, probably don't know what the score. Okay, don't know what the score was. Don't know if you won or lost the game because you had made the error. No matter what had happened, you felt you'd let your team down. So how do you get over that? As your dad just asked.
Yeah.
Well, it's important that the teammates are still you know you're upset with yourself when you do it, but then when your teammates tell you it's alright, then it makes yourself feel a lot better.
So it's massively that your players believe in you.
Yeah.
Massive that is for you. You know, if your players believe in you, you feel like you can perform better.
Yeah.
And have you ever do all your teammates do that? Have you ever had any issues with teammates not doing that?
There's a lot of issues with it, mostly on Sunday.
Right.
Just negativity after one goal. That's the whole team's fault, not just mine.
Right. Okay.
But that I just ignore them and just move on.
Right. Okay.
Because I know it wasn't my fault.
Yeah. But do they aim at you, or do they just shout? So they aim so even if it's a great goal, they aim at you for not dealing with it.
Yeah.
Yet the player who scored has to come through all of those others to get to you and then put it in the back of the net. Right. Okay.
It's still your fault at the end
It's
of the
still
day,
your fault.
in their eyes.
And what does that do to you in terms of with your teammates? Does that make you put up a little bit of a wall and not want to talk to them? Or do you just kind of embrace it? Look, I take the rough with the smooth and we just deal with it? Because sometimes I have to shout at them as well.
Yeah, I just ignore it and then move on with it.
Right, okay.
And then just keep positive with the team.
Yeah. I can see why you'd have to do that as a goalkeeper. I mean, as we've said before, it is probably the hardest position ever because of that error.
It's brutal, isn't it?
A striker, he can miss a pen and you lose the game 2-1, but because you let one of those two in under your foot, it's your fault,
remember the mistake rather
not the
than
pen.
the pen miss,
Yeah.
yeah.
That will come up secondary. Oh, Brendan let in an easy one. Oh, but we also missed a pen. That's the second. Instead of we missed a frigging pen, that could have equalised the game. Oh, and Brendan did let one in. The first one will be your mistake, your error, because they're costly, because they cost goals. So why be a goalkeeper? Why'd you do it?
Why did you originally want to be a goalkeeper?
I never wanted to be a goalkeeper.
You never wanted to be
It
one?
just kind of happened. So when I was 7 or 8, I was looking for a team, and my dad found one online. That was a goalkeeper, and I never knew how to play there. So my first game, I was outside the box and I just picked up the ball.
Right, okay.
And I looked like a kind of idiot, but from then I've progressed and progressed, and it's just become more and more fun.
Would you consider playing outfield? You know, like you said, you didn't want to be a goalkeeper. So does that necessarily mean that you have to be a professional goalkeeper, or would you like to be a professional player?
I like to play outfield and training and that, but goalkeeping, I just like it a lot more. It's
So-
just more enjoyable for me.
So Brendan, obviously I've known you for
Yeah.
a few years, many years, because obviously I'm your dad's mate and that, but you've gone through a little transformation, if you don't mind me saying, yeah? A few years ago, you were a little bit smaller, right? The perception was you didn't look like a goalie, slumped over, you didn't really look like you bothered,
Let's
right?
be honest, you couldn't run.
You weren't a runner, yeah, you didn't run, you hated running, everything was a little bit off and it was like you're going nowhere, right? And I think COVID had a big part to
Yeah.
play in that. But as you've come out of COVID and as you've, found your feet again, you're playing regular football in teams that you enjoy playing for, you're going through your own personal journey as a 12-year-old kid playing U13. What is that journey?
He is 13.
Well, 13
That's
now,
why
yeah,
he
he
gave
gave
me
me a
that
little
voice.
bit.
He gave
He's
me that
13
voice.
now. He plays U13, so I've assumed 12. But
What was the
what
question?
what are you doing personally to try and raise your game?
Well, for like the past couple of weeks, I've been working on my kicking, going
Okay.
outside, because that's a big thing I'm missing right now.
Yeah.
And I spoke to my coach, and he's given me tips and advice on how to improve it.
Okay. What about your overall fitness and your look and
That's just coming from hard work,
doing,
just running around.
running around
What do you do every Wednesday is what we're getting at.
Oh yeah, I go to the gym.
with?
My granddad.
Goes to the gym. How long have you been doing that?
It was before 2023.
So you've been going for a good
Yeah.
probably potentially a year.
And I think that's what Ellis is getting at.
Yeah.
The difference from when you were slower, where you were a bit lethargic and all that, and you looked a bit,
Yeah.
maybe a bit out of place, even though you were a great goalkeeper for Sunday League, but Saturday League maybe looked a bit out of place, and then you started going to the gym, you started working
Yeah.
on yourself physically and mentally.
Yeah.
That it's developed you and pushed you on.
Yeah.
And what pushed you to do that? Because through speaking with your dad, it was literally just a drop of a hat thing. I'm going to the gym now.
Do I force you to do
So-
that?
What made you do it?
Do I force you
My
to play, or do I
granddad-
force you to do any of that?
My granddad's ex-military,
Yeah.
and I knew he went to the gym, and I just decided one day I want to go with him.
So nothing influenced it.
No.
Nothing said to do it. Nothing thought. I don't know. And I'm just saying because kids go through these changes, right? You didn't, get dressed for school one morning, look at yourself in the mirror and think, "Bloody
I'm
hell,
fine."
I need to sort myself out." No, because kids go through that nowadays, and that's why you get all this stuff on social media about it all. But nothing influenced you at all. You just thought, "You know what? I want to go to the gym." And ever since that day, you stuck at it every Wednesday.
Yeah, missed a week, mate. Honestly.
Decent.
No, I've missed a couple because
When?
my granddad's fault.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
okay,
Okay.
yeah. Well, it's
These
not your
past
fault.
couple weeks.
He's been on
it's
holiday.
yeah.
Okay. So,
You had to go with your nan,
Yeah, I had
didn't
to
you?
go
You
with
my
had to
nan.
go with his nan this week.
oh
and-
gosh, I bet that was a joy.
Yeah,
No,
she's
alright.
not pushing him though. He's
Right,
got to
yeah.
go and do it himself
Yeah.
and show her what he does.
Yeah.
So, because I can remember you running around the pitch at PK, always,
Always last.
way behind everybody else, but that hasn't been happening as of recently. You're up there with the group, which shows that your fitness. Do you wish you'd have started this earlier?
Yeah,
Do
definitely.
you wish you'd have got into more of the running and the cardio
Yeah.
stuff earlier? Yeah.
The
The thing is, that how many kids do you know that are 13 that go to
Do
the
it,
gym?
do it, yeah.
That actually go to the
Yeah,
gym.
yeah,
But how many?
Yeah.
Mate, it's rare.
There's probably not many that go to the gym. I would say there's probably not many that do anything outside of their regular training. But that's what's the difference is. And we spoke about it before, the kids that love it and really want it, there is no plan B, which brings me on to the next question, right? You want to be a footballer.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, in my personal opinion, you go to school, you do all your GCSEs and all that kind of thing. Is it called GCSEs still, yeah? Okay. I'm not that old, but
Yeah, I
right?
wouldn't even know.
Is there a plan B for you?
Yeah.
So you have got a plan B?
Yeah.
Right.
What is it going to be?
What is it?
I like a lot of sports, so I want to be a PE teacher as an option.
So at what point then do you think that's plan A? When are you going to concede, if you have to, that I'm not going to be a pro goalkeeper or a semi-pro
yeah.
goalkeeper? When do you think
When do you give up?
that's shelved, I'm going to be a PE teacher?
Well, I don't think I'd ever give up on being a pro footballer. Because there's people like Jamie Vardy who made it pro at 25.
Yeah,
So there's no reason to give up.
yeah.
But there will be a point where I need money and then I'll go into being a PE teacher.
You've got to go into that
Yeah.
working world.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. That's a fair shout. So my other question for you, obviously you've worked with loads of coaches at clubs. You've worked with loads of different organisations, different clubs.
Individual
goalkeeper coaches. I want to focus on the club stuff though, and I want you to say it how it is bluntly. Do you think any of these clubs, Saturday or Sunday, any of these programs whatsoever, have actually cared about goalkeepers? Fully cared. Like, we are going to put something specifically on for goalkeepers.
Venice United, there was always goalkeeper sessions on a Monday.
Okay.
That you got for free if you paid for them.
Okay.
So they definitely cared about them.
Alright, so if you didn't turn up on a Monday, did they call you and say, Brendan, why weren't you there on Monday, mate? We need you there.
Don't think so.
So did they care? Or did they just put a session on because they have to? Because like your Sky Blue Saturday team, they do one on a Friday. Do you ever go?
No.
Do they ever call you to say, come?
Didn't know there was any.
but that's the point though. That's the point.
It's been one
Right.
yeah.
So there's been Friday
Did you tell me?
sessions.
Would you go?
Yeah.
You would be.
We've just started a family feud here at the table at Beers and Bulls.
To be honest, I've got to be honest with the goalkeeping coaches, because of last year and how poor it was.
It was, yeah.
How poor the goalkeeping coach was. And I'm not going to mention any names.
Goalie
you
wars
know,
every week.
You know how bad it was. I didn't see the point in it, and it's expensive. It's really expensive.
Yeah.
You know, like, and we're already paying for the development. That I believe, like you said, they should be coaching him on his training sessions.
Yes, they should.
They should be coaching him on his training.
And that's
sessions.
what I was getting at. Has he ever
I
found
shouldn't have to go and
pay extra?
Go and pay extra on the Friday night
when he's in a program that
Yeah.
shouldn't provide it? I agree, and that's why I was trying to allude to. Have you found a program where you haven't had to go and pay extra to pay privately, where they actually care? So you've got a goalkeeper coaching coming up to you at training session. Yeah, mate, your positioning there wasn't quite good. You need to be here, or taught you how to set a ward, and taught you how to do all this kind of stuff.
Has any manager on a Sunday league ever taught you how to play golf?
No.
Right.
Dad has. We talked about set the ball.
Right.
So
And that's actually dad. That's
I had to Google it.
right.
But
But that's part of the parcel, though, right? Your dad will do that, and I'm sure there's many dads out there that have helped their son in some sort of way. But it should, and that's why we've said goalkeepers are overlooked. They're not
and always left behind.
and they are just the goalkeeper, and they'll do their thing. And do you know what? I think we're guilty of it as well in our team. We had a new goalie come with us for the last 2 games. No one warmed him up.
Yeah, I know.
Not one person warmed him up. So should I be doing that, thinking, you know what, the team are all right, I'll leave you then, should I go and warm the goalie up? Am I going to be able to put him through a warm-up that is essential for, I don't know.
We were lucky he was okay, but then again, we did lose that game.
Yeah, true, that's true.
We did lose that game 1-0.
So if you were to have your own programme, just say you run a football club, right? You got youth teams all over the gaff. How would you change the way goalkeepers are currently treated?
That's a massive question for somebody who's 13.
It is
There
huge.
should be training for free for goalkeepers.
So they should be able to train free, join in whenever they want, wherever they want at the club.
Yeah, so if they're paying for the development, they should be able to do that anything as well.
Okay. So they should subsidise. That means like pay towards
Yeah.
a goalkeeper session, which is no expense to you as the goalkeeper. You shouldn't have to pay extra for it.
Yeah.
Decent.
Because it would be enjoyable to coach things like that.
Yeah.
As well.
Do you not find, like, you know, when we used to go to S1, S1 was very good for you because there was multiple goalkeepers there, there were multiple ages that tested you. If you're training with your team, say Poppies, you're the only goalkeeper there, and then you go off and train with a goalkeeper coach on your own.
Yeah.
You ain't getting the same thing as what you would with a group. So it's hard. It's hard to turn around and say, like what you've said there, and be on your own.
Yeah.
You need that competition. You always need that competition. You always need to, because there's games in training, there's games in goalkeeping where you want to win, he wants to win.
Yeah.
And if you're on your own, you're lacking that, ain't you?
Yeah.
And there's no one to compete against, so you don't know if you're improving, really.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying there. Well, where's your next steps then? Where are you going to go next? Are you staying at Poppies, staying at development?
I'm staying at Poppies for now because we're getting promoted now, and I want to move up into the Elite 2 on.
So what league are Poppies going up to?
Either C or B.
Okay,
Still undecided.
right.
Yeah.
When will they make that decision?
So,
So that actually poses another question. Do you not think you're at U13, right? You're going into U14. time isn't running out. I don't mean like you've got a year left and you're never going to make it.
Yeah.
Time is moving forward, as everyone's life does, and you want to reach the top. Would you not be trying to knock on an 18 door? You want to be in the 8, the first, or a team that is in the A League and they're doing well, and you want to be a part of that because that's where the scouts are coming to watch.
Well, at the minute, I'm playing with all my mates, and I just want to enjoy it.
So is that what's more important then?
No, not necessarily. But since we're going up to the B League, there's going to be more opportunities to say things and that.
Okay. So there's more. You're going to be on show a little more if you're in the B League, and there's going to be harder games. So you're going to, yeah, okay.
When I played, when I was this sort of age, my dad managed me, and I never wanted to manage Brendan because I feel like when I was 13, I could have played higher, but I didn't because my dad was the manager. So I stayed there. I stayed in this team. It was a good team, all my friends, you know, we enjoyed it, but I could have played higher, but I didn't go because my dad was the manager. And I am concerned now that I'm coaching him on a Sunday that he's staying there because it's easy for him. For one, you know, like you should always try and play out of your comfort zone. For me, you know, that's where you learn really who you are.
Yeah.
You know, like you playing in your comfort zone week in, week out, not going to benefit you.
Yeah.
You know.
So as a goalie, these are my last couple of questions, and it's all about what you're told to do and how you're taught, right? On a Saturday, in certain teams, I don't know if Keir does it because I haven't seen your team play. Do you kick long, play short, play out from the back?
Short.
So playing out from the back. Sunday league,
Sure.
are you sure?
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't in the game I watched. I think I've seen you play short twice. That game at Binley.
You're on about with hands.
Yeah.
I want my hands always long.
Oh yeah. That's what I meant. Sorry.
Yeah.
When it's Saturday, is that the same thing? Always out your hands, kicking it long, or do you
Mostly,
play?
yeah.
Right. Okay. And then for Sunday league, always long. Yeah.
Especially if we're under pressure.
So with that, you see on TV now, the long ball isn't the A ball. It's not the one that everyone goes to. Would it not be beneficial to that side of your game, not necessarily goalkeeping, taking those shots, but being able to play with players that can build from the back, which is going to take you to the next level? Is that not going to be an idea to move and play in a bigger and better team?
Yeah.
Do you want to stay with your mates?
Yeah.
It's a hard one. And it's a word I like to use called sacrifice. Are you willing to sacrifice playing with your friends and have a jolly old time to go and be better?
And potentially hurt yourself. You know, like potentially not have as many friends.
Yeah.
To maybe be picked on a little bit more.
That's what it is.
know,
When these kids go into academies, when these players go into academies, do you think they've got mates in there? Nope. They probably know one person because he went to the same school or something.
They'll be lucky. They'll be lucky if they know one
But they're
person.
lucky if they know anybody. Especially if you go to an academy like Leicester or Villa, you ain't gonna know anyone. And you've got to go in there and you've got to be the same kid that you've been. That's why they spotted you.
But like when we went to Whitley, how many players did you know?
None.
None. And you went in there and you did it. And like, what did the parents? The parents love you. The players still love you, even though it's been years since he's played there. They proper love him.
Yeah.
And he created a big bond there. And I think you've sort of lost sight of the fact that if you do go to a new club, there's always that potential that you meet
new people.
Potentially better
and
friends.
your circle gets
potentially
bigger.
better friends than what you had.
Your circle gets bigger. And I don't know about you, Will, and again, people out there as well. The amount of times that you'd speak to people who've got kids, you know, he's doing really well, but he wants to play with his friends.
Hear it.
He wants to play
all
with
the
his
time.
friends. Now,
All the time.
I guarantee you fast forward from that day 10 years, all of those people in his football team, he probably speaks to one person because they've all gone their own ways and got their own girlfriends and jobs.
When I was younger,
they're not important
with my
now.
dad's team, they were all my schoolmates, all the same age as him, 13. That's when Kersey started. It was all a Kersey-based team, and out of all of them, mate, from day one, it's probably only Ash that I speak to now.
Yeah.
And then maybe season 2, Doddy came in. But Doddy weren't from the village, so Doddy's come because of the school sort of side. It's only them two.
Yeah.
And that's it. And again, I see Doddy maybe once every 2 months, Ash maybe less. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's
And that's the hard thing. As a young player,
you don't realise
you
that.
want to play with your mates, but you've got to understand that they're not going to be there forever.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean they're going to die or anything like that, but they're not going to be with you forever. You're going to go and get a girlfriend, you're going to go and get a job, and you're going to live your life, and they're going to live theirs. And maybe you'll connect on socials, maybe you'll still stay in touch with one of them when you go out and he's your mate that you go out drinking with. But all the rest that kept you in that team are not important. They're not relevant,
Yeah.
right?
Look, yeah, with
Somebody wants to start decorating the room.
Okay, that's fine.
yeah, no,
That's
worries.
fine.
Yeah,
Is that it?
we've never done. Yeah,
Yeah, that's fine.
that's cool.
How long? 10 minutes?
We're,
Yeah.
we're done probably
Yeah.
now, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Waiting to
But
come back this.
look, with Whitley, what were we just saying?
Friends.
Yeah. With Whitley, when he left Whitley, I did say like I didn't think that he'd be friends with any of them.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like because they live the other end of Cobbs. Well, it's not like next door, but he's still massively close with Harrison. You know, like they're on socials all the time. He nearly come on holiday with us.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
go and see his boxing. You know, like
Yeah.
there is rare occasions.
So is that one kid?
Yeah,
The whole team, you were
that
there for
whole
how
team.
long?
8 till 11. So
4 years.
Right, so, and they at that point were all your friends. I want to play because they're my friends. And there's only one
and
left.
there's only one left.
Do you see what I'm saying?
And again,
Sometimes
he's only
you've got to make
13, so
decisions.
by the time he's at 18, I'm not saying that you're ever going to fall out with Harrison, but by the time he's at 18,
Yeah,
who knows?
where he is?
Who
and
knows?
and what I'm getting at is, you may get to an age at 16, 17, and all your friends are doing their own thing, and you're left and like, I wish I'd have done that. Do you know what I mean? But look, it's been a pleasure, Brendan.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing your insights. I hope we can hear him on the video. 'Cause
I don't
he's
think-
only young.
I don't
but
think we have. I think it's just me and others still.
cheers. Nice one, mate.